All right, welcome back in. I did say we wouldn't be too long getting into the action here. We were slightly baited, thinking we were going to get a quick start, but obviously just a bit of an issue with getting kicked off, as can happen in these online qualifiers. And as we said, very, very close qualifier throughout, really, but definitely a close game. So I think both teams will want to make sure they are in that stacked position. Maka, right idea here with the spam, got his crosshair lined up, but they are slowly working their way out, making sure not to walk into any of those bullets. Really nice kind of take here from Nemiga. Try not to give the game away. It is sort of a fake out, right? That potentially they're going towards Donut. Not going to be the case. 3D Max not biting. Still pretty well defended here on B.
Well, lucky. Julie's going to play up just in front of the pillar and wait for maybe a bit of a pop. I think a lot of this comes down to what Leah can do on this flank. Can he get active? And Khan's going to get caught on a bit of a fadeaway, and then Leah on this flank also going to get spotted. This now completely changes the game plan for Nemiga. Plan A, out the spawn, falls, and now we've got to look at the mid-rounding.
Still very quiet from Nemiga. They're going to try and double pump it in, I suppose, and hope that the setup has somewhat broken down. Not going to be the case. Baited in to Gravity. A lovely shot from him as well, as he is one of the rare P2K users. Right around this corner. Flashed off. Does go a little sideways as Xanta keeps the kills coming in. Fly on the P250 is hoping that someone gives him a good fight. It's a pretty decent weapon for it. Just sort of goes flying out. He's really trying to draw them in because that bomb is dipped, looking the plan, and I think he... Oh, no, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it. They're way too close, and yes, Maka just spams away with the Glock, knowing what's up. Round one for sure, but denying the bomb plant is pretty big as well.
Yeah, you'll take that. You'll absolutely take that for sure. A little bit of a, an addition to have if you could have had it. But I think a really good round for 3D Max. It's very, very solidly played. I want to shout out as well. So Gravity recently has actually been on some really decent form. I caught him a little bit in Yala, and he actually ended up being the MVP of that tournament. So keep an eye out for him. His form at the moment seems to be really, really solid. Looks very confident. His role's looking really good. I think for a while when he came in, I got to catch him in one of his first games, and I got a chance to interview him, and he was talking about how he's, a little bit starstruck with the people he's around. They're kind of his heroes, right? The French sort of legends who've been around for a while and kind of keeping the French scene propped up. And Gravity was saying, I hope I can kind of, do them proud. And I feel like at the moment he really has come into his own and looked very, very good. So keep an eye out for him. Definitely been really solid at the moment. Jocko, Maka, all getting involved. Such an easy shutdown. Jocko walking over 4K. But, nothing rounds. We don't need to read into that too much. First gun round for Nemiga. So we've got to look at really what they can bring to the table. And again, I'm going to go back to that kind of mid to late round sort of thing. They obviously make these calls as one, as do every team, but you really get to test the team's mettle about when plan A fails and how good they're able to adapt. So I want to see how they can adapt on the gun rounds now, because obviously the pistol didn't go all too well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting map here, I think, because 3D Max, maybe the win rate isn't that great, but they have actually played it loads across Pro League. So I'm curious. I think they could have been doing some serious work on this map in sort of the weeks after, or... So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be a dangerous one here for Nemiga if they can't get themselves into the game necessarily. Gravity up on first frag. So looking like a good start here for 3D Max. Khan will just walk out towards B and find success of his own. Just a question what the follow-up looks like. Maka under threat, and so is the round, in fact. Nemiga just finding picks here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, true. Gravity. Try and pull in for actually a pretty decent flank. He's got this sort of Z control, and now he's not making his way through elbow. See what he can find. One spotted, one found, and actually relatively cleanly as well. He bullied the second in red room. No. His back turn, Xanta will trade. Numbers stay in favor of Nemiga, and 3D Max. I mean, a lot of this is really down to lucky. He's the only one with health, and Maka is so low, but he does have a kit.
It's going to get a little weird. It's a good position for Maka, maybe, is my one argument here. So, see if they come his way. Not directly, but they are indeed going to come onto the A-bomb site. Curious as to whether he gets checked. I mean, a sense of good timing, good distractions could be everything here. Lucky trying not to give the game away. Maka trying not to give the game away. He's being watched for. Lucky also read and dealt with. So, I don't know. It's tough. You're 3v2 trying to make a bit of a play. I think, for me, potentially a bit more get up and go there to just catch them while they're planting the bomb, reduce numbers, etc. But ends up not being the case. A bit too safe, a bit too readable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a very early tack pause, actually, in all fairness, going out from 3D Max. But probably a bit of an opportunity to kind of see maybe a conversation about how Nemiga play these early rounds. It's pretty simplistic how they go about it, right? Take the shelf control, work a little bit of ramp, work cave, try and work a bit of mid, and they also got two different angles to kind of fight from. So just have a little conversation. I don't think they're under too much pressure just yet, but just making sure they don't let things slip away. And also, primarily as well, on their own map pick, don't let Nemiga really control this T side. The worst thing, basically, at the moment would be to let Nemiga run away with a strong T side, build the foundations there, and make 3D Max have that uphill battle on what is generally seen as the harder side of Agent, which is obviously that T side. So, just making sure they don't let anything slip through, plugging a few gaps. But I think for the most part, an early attack pause generally, but I like their kind of proactivity in a sense.
Mid-aggression is what 3D Max try and facilitate here. No one around. It's actually the entire team towards A. Nemiga looking to maybe make it seem as though they've got some super deep round planned, but it's just a very basic A execute to come through. Exorcise on the corner, got some support as well. Rotations are pretty quick here. Boost comes up. Oh, that's a laboured fight. That is a very laboured fight indeed. Gravity going in for a bit more. Gonna get it. Oh, the third is nice. Wasn't expecting that. That will leave just 2 for Nemiga. And there's too many to get through, it feels like. Khan, they're on top of each other right now. They are a bit on top of each other. He will manage to find that frag, but it reveals his location. Gravity low. Rocco's got to be careful with this aggressive stance. Does maybe hear that his ammo was low. Decided to go for it, and it does indeed pay off. But some madness on the A-bomb site for sure. Could have swung the other way.
Yeah, for a moment, that looked a little up in the air, but good work, Gravity. And like you said, you know, even the second and the third, both through smokes, had the lineup, knew what he was working with. He broke open the smoke a little bit with his spray, and he got the information. There's one crossing over towards Big Box. Work, young Frenchman. Keep an eye out for him. Honestly, his recent form has been fantastic. So, nice work in that sense. Money is somewhat salvageable over towards Nemiga in terms of the buy. Double Glil, AK, and then double Deagle to round it out. Not the best, not the most conclusive, but still feels somewhat workable in a sense. And they should have gone for the same play that did fail them a little earlier.
Yeah, maybe try and rework it. Maybe try and just patch the setup changed. Oh, good work here. Good work. Obviously got to be careful. We've got some very confident 3D Max players today. I'll give them that. And, well, maybe rightfully so. Those keep coming their way. Gravity, not going to get caught reloading. He's covered. So it works out well in the end. I just feel at some point these players are going to be punished for their aggressive repeats. Bye. Gets himself on the board finally. Whether he can win the round or not is a different question. Tap onto the bomb. Banking on the fact there's no one holding. They will be now. Just can't get that pre-fire in fast enough. 3D Max are having to work. Not super hard, but they are having to work for these rounds.
Yes, exactly. But the good thing is actually they're looking pretty stable off the back of their attack pause as well. That's a really good sign. They've obviously spotted something early on, and it's worked out for them. Hold is good, and on Nemiga, back to square one, back to the low buy in this one, which probably should assume that it's going to be a 5-1 scoreline for 3D Max to start things off. All in all, a fan of what we're seeing out from the French side so far. We want to see Nemiga play at the level I have been for them, but 3D Max are no easy opponent at all to start off this sort of tournament with. One of the higher seeded teams, and definitely a side that you've got to keep an eye out for. One of the higher seeded, and technically could be considered one of the favorites as well to maybe even book in that spot. Leah, nice find.
He with his fight as well, though. pretty big name to be dropping. As Lear, not a scary weapon. It's been recovered and used by Xanta. Keep your eyes on this one. The B bomb site falls. The plant comes in. And they mount another one of these retakes. The A site, significantly easier than B, I'll give you that much. So we'll see. This is a lack of utility for Nemiga. Not as well covered as I'm sure they would like. And that allows 3D Max to use the time a little better in their favor. Aka leading the charge here. Noses one out towards ramp. This fight keeps on coming. They will drop a couple in the extremity areas, particularly on the site itself, clearing that out. The remaining two in that ramp. They know there's one there. Probably now saying that there's two. And the tap on the bomb is enough to draw them out a little close on the defuse here. But once again, 3D Max get the retake.
Yeah, good work. I mean, even still, for Nemiga, you can talk about the silver linings and all those things, right? And there are, you know, a couple of kills, a bomb plant, and all the rest. But I think even at this point, we're getting the midway through this first half at the moment, and it is already getting to the point at a 5-1 scoreline where silver linings maybe aren't enough. You know, we probably need to see Nemiga get at least one of the next couple of rounds, if not a few in quick tandem, if they want to make this a competitive first half. I mean, if 3D Max just get one more gun round, especially if it's this one, for example, resets Nemiga once again, and we could be talking about a 7-1 scoreline, which already feels like the beginning of the end in that sense.
Answer. We'll get a frag, but Jocko posthumously with the nade finds that trade. Love to see kills like that, I suppose. 3D Max, an even situation for them. Lost control of middle. It's strange how those bullets do not land, but they don't. So, through relatively unscathed there. Exorcist is aware, at least, of one. Zvai, he pulls back. Could get a catch here. Could get a catch. Really weird spot for him to be in. There's 4 Frenchmen around him, however. That's not a fun time, so he will get traded out quick. Bomb plant on A has been secured, though. So again, 3D Max have got a retake. Yeah.
This one feels a little harder. You know, smoked out, and now in a 2 versus 2. Lucky gonna get caught there. As he was just playing around CT. Just smoked out, 1 through main, 1 through donut. This is not easy at all. Alert to it to come through. And the main player of Maka has given up his position as well. Swinging a fine gravity, confidence. Exudes it as well as he swings for the first. Looks for a second as well. And Maka, oh, he'll see it off on his teammate. But round is a round ultimately. There's a stray bullet catches the very low gravity. It's expensive, but it's still 3D Max keeping their triumphant ways at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, you can see, like you say, expensive. You can see that the 3D Max economy is hanging on by a thread. So it could very, very quickly turn in the favor of Nemiga. And there is still that room for the palatable 4, maybe even 5 rounds. But, you know, we'll be conservative and say that they can at least get to that bare minimum scoreline. But 3D Max playing some really good Counter-Strike right now. That's one of the key things, yeah. They're losing control of the sites. See a lot of teams, first map of an online qualifier, lower bracket available, just kind of panicking and losing those types of situations. But these guys are staying cool. Nemiga, they go for a pace change in this round. 3D Max are there to answer. Really, really great CT defense from these guys.
All right. Molotov turned down towards ramp. Can't. Evaded as Xanta making a move. The swing is actually bad. They play anti really well, but Maka steps off in a big way. They do expect the pillar swing, and Khan, he's low, but he stays alive and gets his kill. So 2 versus 2, still workable.
By the look of it, they're going to be able to get that bomb down, and they are digging for info. If Khan keeps going, he will unlock the answers to the universe here. Lear spots out the orb, takes a leg, lucky to be alive. They're both incredibly low, and you can see Maka trying to actually trade up that orb. I think they are aware of the fact that both of these players remain quite low. Spam, attempt. It's going to be close, you know. A couple of those shots could have landed. A knee, a backpack, something spotted there, and Gravity will make quick work of that frag, and the second, of course. 3D Max, they can't lose in these situations now.
Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to say I told you so, but 15-3, Gravity is looking great. The youngster is fantastic out the gate so far, so confident and hitting every single shot that's given his way. Brilliant work, and I think no surprises to see Nemiga in towards this tack pause, arguably even a little bit late in a sense. 7-1 down. I don't know about you, man, but I really feel like they're in a lot of pressure here. I mean, even for example, if it was to go 7-5, I didn't even know if you can consider it a good half on a map like Ancient, which these days is a little bit more even statistically. It's still a CT sided, but Nemiga just don't really feel that confident. It is a case for them about close but no cigar, essentially. And unfortunately, at the moment, Nemiga, that's just not enough. We do need to see them put something on the board. So yeah, tough work. Tough work indeed. But Nemiga, I feel like if they want any chance of this, it does feel like that kind of 5 at the half is sort of needed. Oh, wait.
Ooh, spam is not good enough. XSC's finding 2. There's the newer boys on the block that are maybe making a few more names. Particularly Gravity, though. I mean, he's doing a lot of work. To be honest, Nemiga, remembering who they are as they go Wing in, find a couple of headshots, entry their way onto B, but no bomb to speak of. I think that's a little bit of an oversight. Khan will get spotted, so maybe it doesn't matter all that much in the end. This bomb should be discovered momentarily. A little bit of terrain for Jocko to get over, but definitely knows that it's there now, hidden away in the corner. Risky Bob with some hard clears here, folks. Just goes walking straight in, not ready at all. And that one, there were some legs behind it, but even the 2v3 retakes felt a bit more substantial from Nemiga. But there was a little spark in the middle there, I think, where they kind of, like I say, remember who they are, individually based team, just go running in for those frags.
Very true. Very true. I'm not sure that was a slight bug as well, but he was shifting, but making noise all the way throughout. And a little unfortunate in that sense, but it was a guaranteed lost round, unfortunately, anyway. Just too many angles to play with a little time, as you sort of kind of alluded to. So 8-1, 3D Max are looking absolutely brilliant out the gates. On their opponent's map pick as well, we have to remind you, theirs is up next, that of Inferno, and yeah, they look great, 3D Max. I mean, this is this is their bread and butter, an online tournament towards a LAN, and they do this a lot, right? We see them at multiple challenges, Pro League, obviously, recently, like you touched on. I mean, this is sort of where they do their best work. They're challenger veterans on the LAN stage, so they're wanting one of those 2 spots, and definitely have to be one of the main teams you consider in this. Nade over, Xanta, tag down to just above half.
Yeah, it's funny, man. We've seen this team, or iterations of this team, just always get to that breaking point level where they need to burst through the ceiling. And they've just not quite been able to. You know, there's some great talents in the French scene, but something has always held them back somewhere. Despite the fact that they will qualify for a Pro League. But, you know, even before that, we had, like, the double pony boys in the Flashpoint days and everything, you know, which members of this team were a part of. So, yeah, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, maybe, is the phrase that can be used. That's the bomb plant going to be denied. They were on a lower buy anyway, to be fair, Neo, so should be all good for the next here, but it's just getting problematic, isn't it? 9 rounds, you would say, is right on the verge of, like, yep, 1 in the first half. Anything more than this, and 3D Max, we start to talk about them taking Ancient, which is not even their pick.
Yeah, this is a bit of a dire showing. Obviously, Inferno statistically is also pretty good for this Nemiga side, or at least it's okay for them, so they don't hate that decision, but their mental could kind of boom in this one. 9-1, 2 more rounds left in this half. I mean, it very much feels like we could and maybe even should see 3D Max hit double digits in this first half, and already at 9, it feels like this is the road to the end. I mean, this will require something quite miraculous out from Nemiga to be able to recover from this spot and even be in the conversation of making this a close feeling game. Maka pushes elbow, look how much information, look how much clearance he's getting, but he's going to go the wrong way. And they're doubling back towards him. Oh, but I don't think they'll clear him is my assumption, but then he might not get the drop on them. This is a very awkward one. Oh, now he does. Never mind. He's lost them out. Sprays down and does damage, but kills none.
It's a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage. We'll see if they can capitalize on it in the next few moments. Looking to gain some space here. I am a fan. The dry walk down. Pulling in a flash. Ooh, allows them in. Doesn't give them the cleanest entry. Will be one earned. Jocko got to be careful here, but he's trying to press the attack. Maybe heard them drop down. Maybe knows that they're a little caught off. Spots out another. Exorcist very ready for them coming his way. And they have once again held the line. Great gather of info. A lovely mid-round move to just give them that inkling that presence towards mid. There's no one at B, so it's probably a donut hit. They were so very ready. Exorcist stands his ground. Oh, it's just almost perfect Counter-Strike from 3D Max here.
Yeah, I was about to say, it actually feels as sort of close to the definition as it can get, you know, without it being kind of flawless rounds themselves in the sense of just stomping them. So yeah, I think you're spot on. They are completely outcalling, outreading all the rest. And wow, what a performance, man. What a performance. I mean, honestly, there was probably little to nothing we can say on a negative note out from this 3D Max side. The second they lost a round, they call a timeout, and they've been flawless ever since. It's really, really good to watch, and it's fun seeing 3D Max play this way because sort of we know the ceiling of this team. You know, it is pretty high, but at times, unfortunately, the floor can be a little low. That doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Brilliant, brilliant display.
All right. Nemiga, can they save any face here? Or is it all 3D Max? Looking set to be. Molly down to slow them. Smoke as well. Kind of puts the Molotov out for them, but a great use of utility here is just really going to scare them off. And confident posturing from 3D Max, right? To be like, yo, we've got 2 or 3 people here. You're not getting through. And that kind of sends Nemiga right back to the ideas. And unfortunately, that makes them a bit more readable. So again, 3D Max in control around.
Yeah, it was quiet for a little brief moment as the rotation comes through. And one thing I'm not 100% sure of, I know for a long while that whenever you'd walk through the water here, you'd drop some frames. It'd be like 70 frames. So for the average pro PC, isn't that big of a difference. But if you're keeping an eye on your FPS counter, it used to be like a kind of a weird way you could just gain information, basically. Now, though, they're making noise. They're going loud. Lucky. One only, though. And he gets traded immediately. Jocko reclaim that space. It's not actually a fadeaway kill. It's Risky Bob with a team kill. I mean, sure, he's getting trades, and he will actually make up for it with a double.
Oh, no. The touchdown made finds him, though. It's all on to Zvi here. Brings it into the 1v1, but it's not fast enough. 11-1 from 3D Max. Need I say more? See you in a few, folks.
same old feeling. Don't know what's right or wrong. Searching for meaning. I've been thinking about it way too long. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way. Don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go.
Wow. Well, that was very quick. Not even was it just one-sided. It was actually just quick. The rounds were done for the most part in kind of at the midway point through them. A really, really stellar display coming through from the 3D Max side, who pulled no punches, looked fantastic, and on their opponent's map pick, put up an 11-1 CT side. And I mean, Scriver goes without saying, Nemiga, you lose a pistol here, it's kind of game over.
Yeah, definitely, man. There's not much to add, you know. I think that if you're here on a Friday afternoon watching Counter-Strike, you know what's up. You know what's happening here. And I think even if they do win the pistol, they've got a lot more to do after that before we start to fathom the idea of them extending this one. Ooh. It looks good. It looks good. Only 2 left on the French side right here. But 2 pretty deadly names. Jocko in particular, he's a pistol menace, this guy. They take a couple, they gather some information. They're in full control once again. You know, they really do not need to panic, do not have to win this round out. So why not take some risks? Why not go crazy and see if you can push it away? Leah, he goes early. He's going to be spotted. Bomb's getting planted now. Oh, nice find. Jocko not respecting that angle at all. So it's all going to be on to Ecstasy. It's a quiet start to the game for him, but he quickly exploded in the final few rounds. Doesn't matter. And hype him up as much as you like. He's going to get sideswiped by Leah. They're going to spread the econ here as well, allowing Khan to get the defuse, so he gets that extra $300. So here we are, Nemiga. Certainly not going down without a fight.
Yeah, very, very true. 11-2. Obviously, a long road to recovery needed for them, but that's the only real start that we could ask for. Get one on the board, and now let's see where we can go from here. Granted, though, 3D Max, Plant does need a buy coming out for them of some sort. So you got 1 AK, 1 Galil, Mac 10 Tech 9, and Jocko's going to go in for a deal. Not the worst. Still, expectations are that Nemiga take a third, and of course, by taking a third, breaking the French economy, and then getting a 4th on the board. So you can start to see the roads of how they're going to build up a little bit of stability, but then again, Maka, other ideas, nice open. There's also a gun to work with too, which I'll take.
They will indeed, and this would be immediate heartbreak again. It's tough, right? When you're at this kind of scoreline, you're just going to be playing so differently, right? Like the decisions that you make, the fights that you take will just be wildly different. Yeah, and unfortunately, Nemiga are on the other side of that. They're like super tense, and they're like, every decision we make has so big. We have to do something. We have to wrestle this round back, and unfortunately, in that panic, lack of flexibility, they are just way too dealt with easily, and immediately the force buy is won. But we've seen this many a time, and it is sort of maybe the difference between a team like Nemiga and a team like FaZe, for example, who have obviously been in this situation recently and managed to overcome it, because FaZe, they relish in the opportunity to, you know, play in like this very stressful kind of environment, but in their own way. We all saw how sort of loose they were for a while, and that it actually flipped the other way, and it was Liquid who started to worry and play more tense. But we've seen it a lot where a team will win the pistol when it's like 10-2, 11-1, and then immediately lose the force buy because they just can't make the right decisions. You know, their heads are completely gone.
It's true. Gravity still having a real good game. 18-6 for him. 7 assists, ain't bad at all. over 100 ADR. 10 same for Exorcist, 100 ADR for him as he's 14-9. I mean, everyone on 3D Max really having their moment. Even really lucky, he hasn't been required, in all honesty. So, 10-round difference between these two, and on Nemiga, all they've got is the upgraded pistols. I do like a 5.7, but this feels like a mammoth task that they're kind of required to pull off here. And trying to make a bit of a flank, and they're now being spotted doing exactly that. The nade will come over a little late, though, so won't do any damage. That one will.
Exorcist. Oh,
there it is.
Demolished. And Maka knows what's better. He's not going to go into that trap and give them potentially another kill. So that will be a gun retrievable in just a moment here. There you are. Zvi gets his hands onto it. So 5-on-4, slight upgrade, deep A information as well. So they are going to bolster up the B side of things. Will it be fast enough is the question, though. 3D Max are still here quite timely. And they should be able to get the bomb plant. Not the most covered off-site, unfortunately, but the weapons at range looking good. Find themselves that all-important third, I would say. Unless Zvi has an absolute miracle run here. Be able to find one. Got to keep the dream alive somehow, I suppose. Nice little flash off. They know where he's at. He's tagged up. There ain't no way. There ain't no way here he's going to get this. So 3D Max will be taking this first map in very one-sided fashion. Not too much else to add to the equation. Zvi is, yeah, just looking for a fight, but nothing's coming his way. Playing a bit of a cheesy game here to just maybe annoy them slightly, extend the game pointlessly. It's all a bit frustrating at the moment. For Nemiga, taking a couple kills on the way out. Had those stats. Not my fault. We lost. And the bomb will indeed go off. So, an extension of play there a little bit by Zvi, but not in the way that they would have wanted, unfortunately. Yeah. As the game still ends up going the way of 3D Max in pretty quick fashion, my guy. Very, very fast.
Yeah. That's pretty brutal, wasn't it? I think it's probably the safe way to go about it. I mean, a really, really good display coming out from 3D Max, setting the tone really early into
Hello, gang. Welcome back in. Apologies, a little bit of a technical issue there. So we have missed the pistol here. 3D Max found it pretty cleanly by the looks of things. Gravity and Lucky being the heroes of the round. So there you go. There you go. Not loads and loads to write home about. It will be the eco coming out from Nemiga here.
Yeah, Gravity back to his pretty triumphant ways as well. He was so good, obviously, in that first map. He's taking a bit of a fight. He does need to be careful. They're creeping up on his position. Checks. Spots one. Spots a second as well. So they can move as well. And mop them up. Oh, Nexus cease. Brilliant. 4K is the 5th there for him as well. The ace denied. As always is, it feels. He might actually get 2 here, Khan, which, honestly, I think it's not even the worst thing at all. Now Mac 10 picked up.
Yeah, opportunity to make some money. Here's some more footsteps around this corner. Find the fight. Easier said than done. Maka plucks him out of the air, but he will take the $600, I'm sure.
Every day of the week. Not going to say no to that, but yeah. Weird round, all in all. I think, you know, Nemiga, the one thing they'll probably look for is just picking up a gun, really, and yeah, it doesn't end up working. So, 2-0, 3D Max. Great start. Started as they finished in towards Ancient at 13-2 and a near flawless performance. Let's see whether Nemiga in towards their first full buy with the AWP out in play as well. Maybe get something going.
He's making noise in the apartments here. No one really around for him to meet. Could get dangerous there at the top end of middle. It is a very heavy 4A from Nemiga. Yes, we do see 4 players on A pretty often on this map, but they were for a while all on that short side towards pit areas like that. Usually you'll see a guy out in Arch or CT which is where Khan has now moved to. They're still pretty sold on this A hit, so 3D Max could be walking into the Lion's Den if they're not careful.
Ollie. I think that, yeah, it does bounce actually nicely just that corner swipe. We'll get one. Quick on the trade or quick on the shot as that smoke gets broken open. Khan will pounce.
Dangerous look now. Xanta in towards that pit. Just trying to keep their attention a little bit here, but does seem like a pivot towards B into the final 30 seconds. Still got utility for it as well, as you can see, man. It is that bare bones execute, but it's going to work against one player. Two smokes give them the space that they need. They will indeed gain ground. The rotation's coming in quite quickly. Lucky goes in for the bomb plant. Maka, off some footsteps, finds a crazy frag through that smoke that has maybe pulled them back into this round now. He keeps on going as well. He's split the defense up, taking some names with him. Will lose his life, but he's gained the info. One Church, one CT. Should be able to work from that now. Some quick moves from the other two 3D Max boys. Gets them into a decent post-plan position here. Xanta in from this CT choke. Will try his damnedest to open up, but it's a nice two-piece trade off each other. And it's all Leah. He's got no HP. He's got no kit. And there's no way he makes it in. He's going to try and get out with the orb, but even that will be impossible. Oh my goodness. Lands the collapse. USB is out, and the pre-fire is there. Can he get away from the bomb? I don't think so. Everybody goes down, but 3D Max keep their winning streak alive.
Yeah, I mean, hey, 3D Max, they'll take it, right? You know, they keep the wins on the board. They keep the rounds in their favor, but we are starting to see a little bit more on an Nemiga at the very least. I mean, that was nice in terms of the frags to a degree, but still, orb saved means money's a little bit feeble over towards that CT side, and well, 3D Max should have no issues heading into round number 4 to get a fourth on the board. I mean, there's a couple of good pistols, but it's nothing too spectacular. Mac 10 try and start things off, and he gets gifted one for free. Flash actually comes a little late there. Lucky just stays into his top banana, even though he was put in the open. Mac 10 spamming again. He also gets caught by another team flash.
Tries there, not able to find anything. The USP also dealt with. Nearly for a kill or two on the CT side, but unfortunately not going to be the case. Robotic from Exorcise. Khan remains alone, but really does not want to squander this opportunity with the info that he has. Biding his time, moving down slowly. Could get the catch here. Oh, surely not. Okay, never mind. That 5-7 is deadly. The first bullet accuracy and all that is just absolutely insane on a 5-7. For real, gets his hands onto the AK. Can he keep it, though? They're after him. They're looking to deny as best they possibly can, and I think they should just about get rid of him. It's all a question of whether he takes a kill. Brave. They've played it well, though, and they will indeed eliminate him. Minimal damage. Another round for the Frenchman.
Yeah, actually really well played there as well. When he's alone, they're kind of baiting in fights, so he's holding mouse 1 and he just runs out of ammo. Simple stuff. Simple stuff indeed. 4-0. Now, for this Nemiga side, it's similar stories we were talking about in towards that first map of just hoping to get them on the board sooner rather than later, hoping to get something to work with. Question for us though about, is this going to be the same as what we saw in towards that Ancients, where it is just lackluster all the way? Speaking of, that's a lackluster Molotov from Risky Bob. He moves a little bit and it just banks and arguably mollies his own teammates. Speaking of those, why? For 2, Khan coming alive on his own as well. Still got the numbers.
Plan 8. Draws some attention. Maka tries to make a play off the back of it. Not going to work. The B rotators are enough to find Nemiga their first round. 3D Max left down, left a little worse for wear there. Could not come back from it. Could have done with that bomb plan as well, Neo, to be honest.
Shoot. It would have helped. I mean, at the very least, for the buy. I mean, it's basically fine, bar Lucky. He's the only one who's probably going to have to take some sort of a hit. But actually, in a similar vein to what we saw in Ancient, the second they lose a round, they do call attack timeout just to make sure that things are, yeah, you know, plugged and make sure that things don't start to slip away. And they did a very good job of that in Ancient. The expectation is that they would do it again in towards this map here. But even still, so far, 4 rounds out the gate, very, very good to see. And I really do want to see whether Nemiga find ways back into this. Inferno feels fundamentally a little bit simpler, so maybe that might help them out a little bit. But at this point, it's just about getting a new look Nemiga because we've just not seen anything really good from them.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, I think. The thing is, as well, 2 spots on the line. We can make the run through the lower bracket. We kind of need to see something from them. You know, Howard is a little bit of a dark horse so far. Whatever the opposite of a dark horse is, I don't know, a dead horse maybe? They're just not looking good at all. So, yeah, if they are to give us something, it has to at least happen in one half of Counter-Strike. You know, really clutching at straws for them, but you don't want a team to be a complete wet squib. There you go. Maybe that's the opposite of a dark horse. Either way, a lot of nade damage done early on. So maybe as we're talking them up a bit, they are indeed going to find a run here.
Back up. Nade for him. Double nade on towards corner wall, but won't do all too much. No one's there. Actually giving up a lot of space here, and it looks like all attention's really been focused on the A site here. They've rotated. They had 4 over there, but thankfully now Leah is doubling back, and he's going to need to get there sooner rather than later.
Hunter ready and raring to go here. That is a cool smoke, but it's actually quite deep, maybe a bit too deep. Yeah, Leah's going to have so much room to run out. Finds 2. It's Xanta that does not deliver. Still, the maths works in favor of Nemiga. The bomb, yes, will go down, but it has cost 3D Max almost everything. We'll see what they're able to get here. Smoke does not land in time, leaving Exorcist exposed. It is Gravity, the hero of the first map. Clutch up against 3 here. This would be a great way to start making his mark on Inferno. Here's him moving in. Finds 1. The spray down is just not there, though. Does not connect. And Nemiga will string 2 together. Here we go. Maybe some Counter-Strike coming through from the Belarusians.
Yeah, I mean, finally, you know, a bit of consistency out from them where we can stand here for the first time, basically the series, and say, this is great. Wonderful stuff, but I still need just a little bit more just to make sure that this doesn't kind of drift into a point where 3D Max do find ways back into. So you need to be very, very proactive, Nemiga, in finding kind of success coming forward. And 3D Max won't be feeling all too much pressure at the moment, regardless. Khan down towards Ramp. It's a nade stack, and oh, Xanta. I think you're right in saying Leah tags up, and Xanta with 1 nade gets 3.
Lovely stuff. 4K comes round for him. What you like to see, man. And that's going to give them some momentum. The all-important M word that we have yet to see from Nemiga in this series. CT side is a pretty good place to do it as well. You can become unstoppable. I'm sure 3D Max has still got a lot in the tank for us. And of course, as happened on Ancient, take a timeout. It absolutely turned things around over there. So I think they have that in their back pocket should they need it. This is a bit more of an instinctive map for them potentially than Ancient, but all the same. Oh, there's room for a lot. It's a nice little Molotov setup there, actually. 1 at mid, 1, of course, in the apartments to stop the cross. And Zwei just didn't quite know what was going on. Flames all around him. A lot of needless damage taken.
Waiting. Early smokes off the back of the damage dealt, and trying to make sure as well they give themselves these opportunities. Exorcist in apartments is a very nice kind of forward angle, and he doesn't actually really have to do all too much of it. I just hope Lucky doesn't peek this all up here. Now the smoke's gone as well. The Molotov, if he can utilize it to push away Khan off this angle, is good, but if he tries to peek into this, it's probably going to be pretty rough. But he has unscoped. Ooh.
Some scary moves, some risky moves, you might say, from Bob there. They're going to open up against Exorcist, going for a lurk play on A. They burst in through Banana, deep CT smoke as well. Oh, the AWP out in the open. Lucky. Fancied his chances. Does not work for him. Khan forced into the fight. Will keep them coming eventually. Loses his head. Surely it's good enough. Just got to be careful here not to get overzealous. That is a 5-on-2 that very quickly falls into a 2 versus 2 here, Neo. One of the kills in there, fair enough. Clean trade after he'd done some work. The other 2, not that nice to look at. So we'll see the round back on. Maka's got his trusty AWP. It's now going to be all down to him. He's low HP, an easy finish, trying to get himself into a good AWPing spot, but he's denied, and Nemiga, thank goodness, will win it out.
Yeah, for a moment, looked a little rough and weird in that sense for Nemiga, because they were just isolated, but good shots being hit, and unfortunately, Maka can't hit his. We are all tied square. This is a really solid spot to kind of be put in, and finally, just finally, we get to see some real success out for this this CT side. And hey, they can build up a decent little foundation in this first half. We're talking anywhere in the region of kind of 6 rounds, maybe a little bit more. I give ourselves a chance to converse about map number 3, something that definitely didn't feel to be the case after map 1.
Back up. Loves a kill through the smoke, apparently. Manages to open up here for Max. They're going to go through. Risky Bob, that second is ridiculous. Keeps them going. Oh, my. The ace, yes. He's going to get it. Risky Bob, what a round. What a round. Lowest fragger on his team at that point, and now he's way up there with the big boys. Lovely, lovely stuff.
Yeah, that is really, really special. What a play. I mean, risking the name and in the game, right? He pushes through mid, playing behind that smoke. So easy to be overwhelmed, and he was anything but calm and composed when he had so many people flying in towards his position, and he makes it look so damn easy as he isolates it. Yeah, wonderful stuff, indeed. On. He's in the molly for a peek, but nothing shows.
This is it. This is what I was talking about, man. You know, Nemiga, they find that very quick eco round in particular, and it just ups your confidence in a massive way. We might look at it from a sort of statistical level where it's like, yeah, they're supposed to win that, and it's not that much of a threat, that kind of round. But when they go quick, when they come easy, you feel very, very comfortable all of a sudden, and like you are back in control. Something they were firmly lacking on Ancient was indeed the control. A lot of very sloppy, lost situations. Once again, 3D Max have found the opening frag, though. A wild, full rotation across to A. They're going to have to do something with this for my money now, right? They're going to have to get into the action. I think they know that, trying to facilitate a couple of players here. But they've lost another fight. So it's a dire look right now for Nemiga. Still a regularly held A bomb site, though. Yeah,
True.
3 players is what you normally have.
Card it out. That's for sure. Risky Bob. Right idea. Wrong execution. Just his shoulder. Just ever so slightly showing, but it was enough. Enough to get that kill. And the 2 remaining, surely no chances. Xanta gets spammed as well, so he sort of panics in the spam, and that should be the round. Last man, Leah. No chance. Bomb goes to a 3B bomb site, and Leah's probably not going to survive this. I mean, it would be a massive thing if he can. Won't be the case. Gets the 1 casualty. Consolation, that's all it will be.
Okay. Maybe a harder fought battle, but 3D Max still in this. Looking very, very interesting as Nemiga. Definitely a better fight from them, but still not super impressive. Still not, okay, they were really in this series. You know, when people look back, they'll see one map that was very one-sided, one map that was, you know, okay, maybe pretty one-sided. We'll see what they're able to create at the tail end of the half. Khan misses a few AWP shots, now battling for his life. I think they know that he's still around here somewhere. And he does get finished off. At the very least, he's bought time. Again, the quick and heavy rotations from Nemiga, despite the style of 3D Max being a bit more of that rotational, yeah, baity kind of style here. We see Exorcist deep on A, and I think the bomb's not committed, so they're saying, all right, grab a freeze. Let's see what I can do. He is opting to move in on the flank. I'm not sure if they know there's 2 here. I feel like this is a play you would make when he's 1 on B. Definitely know that there's 2 now with that information, but at the very least they've been split up. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this. Oh, they're going to look straight past Santa. So well played from him on the trigger discipline as well. He must not have been heard. I saw him moving on the minimap. I figured he was running. Maybe not. Maybe not, and thus the game has swung back in favor of the defensive side.
That's true. What do we do now, right? In this 2 versus 3. I mean, those steps have been heard. Maka has the bomb. He's got to hit the shot. My God, does he? Quick flick, quick reaction, and a long rotate all the way towards a side, but it's perfect. Because Ectasies can hold for rotates himself. It's a top angle to clear over towards Car, and he's been spotted, but he gets his. Last man is that B player, wrapping from Banana, and the fact that Ectasies doesn't spot him has to relay over towards Maka that he's not coming from CT, he has to come from mid.
Absolutely mental round here. Xanta having the moment of a lifetime. Timing. Look back. Look back. No. Gets taken down. That is so unfortunate. Yeah, man. Great round out from him. Just no real support in there from anyone else. And again, felt like one of those rounds from the word go that 3D Max were able to dictate Nemiga. I don't know what's happened. Just the past, like, 2 or 3, giving them a bit too much, like, respect. These full rotations, you know? Like, it feels a bit wild. And I think they know, again, they're losing their heads slightly like they did on Ancient. Not quite as egregious this time, but they need a timeout.
Yeah, I think this is a good call. Just try and pump the brakes ever so slightly. Don't let things slip away for no reason, and you should be fine for the most part. 6-5, though. A much more competitive game, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And obviously, on the other side, too, hopefully we get to see now. I think 3D Max, if they can guarantee a lead, they put themselves in a good spot. If they lose it, maybe there's conversations to be had about actually Nemiga having a little bit more of the control for the most part of the momentum at the tail end of this half, because it's a really strong start for them. Little bit of a kind of a dwindle away in the mid to late part. So yeah, let's see, right? 6-5, I think generally speaking is pretty decent. 3D Max in 6 rounds T-side Inferno, you take it every day of the week. But Nemiga, they can tie it up. It is workable. It's just the fact that the fly is so poor.
Ooh. Okay. Might be a poor buy, but that is a ridiculous shot. Maybe seal the deal on this one. Maybe a round they were expecting. Maybe it's an Nemiga special that they go in for this second mid aggressive play on the low buy. 3D Max incredibly set up for it. A single kill. Nearly that one, but not a single kill going the way of Nemiga. We'll see if Khan can change that. Round itself, not so much. I don't think I saw him moving in there. 5-7, again, is a menace on the move. 7-5 in favor of 3D Max. A good recovery from them in the end. They will take the lead, but it is much slimmer this time around. We'll see what Nemiga can do on that T side.
weak and old. I carry you, you brighten my soul, making me glow. I carry you wherever I go. I can see your face in a crowd of millions. No one can take your place. The only one that can guide me through the maze. You're my favorite song on the radio. All of me, my spirit and halo. You're my comfort, my rhythm and blues. You're the headlines in the morning news. I carry you.
Alrighty, welcome back. We're heading in towards the second half here in map number 2, and it has still remained a solid performance out from 3D Max, an ever so slight lead in their favor, but a much more competitive league compared to map number 1. So we'll see, but I mean, the way I've been looking at things, this pistol round could be a massive indicator of how things are going to play out. Jocko for a double.
There he is, man, the menace. Going back in for a bit more here. Okay, and he will get taught a lesson in restraint, but also does trade off some pretty good information that the bomb is hanging around. Lucky deals with Khan easily. Maybe Jocko spotted the back end of him, not sure, but they felt like there would be presence on B. So, 4 on 2. Molotov for Lear. I don't see much more than that, to be honest with you. Maybe if they can land the crazy headshots that the Glock can be known for. Exorcy's 3 HP. It does keep getting a little better as they move in towards the site, but still not feeling it. Still not feeling it. Molotov comes in. There's your kill onto Exorcy. Still a player on the bomb site. He's looking to just buy some time. Cannot take anyone with him. Doesn't buy that much time, arguably. So, 2 versus 2 very quickly rolls about. They are pretty unscathed after those fights. Some upgrades in range, potentially. This actually doesn't look that good for 3D Max, I am not going to lie. Much noise by Maka. He will find the frag. Ball down to Leah. Brings it into the 1 versus 1. Has time to reset here. Can't find the headshot, and it's lucky on the Julies to save the day. But that is hella close.
Yeah, much closer, I think, than expected with how things were in terms of start. Jocko's 2 out the gates. Very okay sort of control there. And for a moment, it looked like it was going to be a very smooth pistol. It wasn't. A bomb plant, workable. Nemiga can mean a buy and will give them at least some sort of confidence. It still is a 3-round buffer zone now to work with. This force fight, if it goes south for Nemiga, they're actually in quite a bit of trouble. We're then talking about 3D Max probably guaranteeing themselves, 10 rounds on the board, 10 to 5. Not exactly the easiest score to kind of recover from, especially on a map that's not your own.
Let's see. They've gone in for the guns to try and force the issue with this. Quick move up middle. Not really much look in from 3D Max. So no opportunity to find a cheeky first kill. There goes Maka meeting Vi in the apartments. Yeah, with the best gun in the game, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Best gun in the game.
Also, may I say, one of the best skins for the gun as well.
Okay, this guy's an aficionado.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a user, but I didn't even clock the skin.
It's quite a spenny one. I forget its exact name, but it's one of the pink ones. It's really pretty. But he's got a nice skin. So again, Maka must be a regular user of this gun, because you wouldn't have a skin as nice as that. I mean, it's worth a fair decent amount as XM skins go, not in the grand scheme. Risky Bob, nice swing, nice find. Xyz was jiggle peeking, and he jiggles in, and well, gets caught.
Khan catches Jocko getting cheeky though. So all of a sudden it has swung back. Gravity trying to close the gap on the MP9. I think the bomb will have been spotted there on the minimap in the end. This doesn't look too bad for Nemiga, The bomb as well is drawing away. I think Maka will have heard that jump and that drop, and oh, He's trying to get some timing here.
Oh!
You do have to put your crosshair on them to make it work. Anyway, that's going to be the round. That'll be a save coming in from the remaining 3 Max boys. Nemiga, I think they had that one anyway. I feel like he gets 1 kill, gets traded, and we're in a very similar situation. So
yeah,
they have won the force buy.
Yeah, fair play. They needed it. They really did. Just as we were kind of praising the XM user, he then uses it badly. You know, you hate to see it. You really do. As XM purists over here, you know, we're the best ones to judge. But for Nemiga, that is quite big actually. Finding that, obviously, the money's not going to be great. Well, it's not going to be good at all for 3D Max. So we're talking about them probably basically having either one or two things: either a complete no buy in towards the next, and then they just sort of full eco, hope that the M4 and MP9 can do something. Or, and something that I've been seeing a little bit more popular, I guess, these days, is actually force buying around a buy like this with basically whatever you can pick up and hoping something works. It is a risky one, especially when the game is so close as it is, 8-6. So definitely would be a really ballsy call, but I've started seeing a few more teams do it where they force in around these sort of buys with the MP9 being dropped over. Might be the play. Yeah, MP9's being picked up, so they are going to go for that. It is becoming very popular these days. But yeah, there's such a massive inherent risk here, right? We're talking about lose this, and Nemiga basically guaranteed that they're going to be tying this game up.
Yeah, defo. And that is a worrying prospect for 3D Max, who I think, like us, we can afford to do it, them not so much. We had their heads in the next game. Probably had their heads in that extended break. So you're really threatening that right now, and you do not want this to go down to a reset. Ooh. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Yeah, somebody's still not used to it. Yeah. Kill comes in though. You know, sometimes the flashes, it's all about the confidence. Oh my god, it's so off. It's so off because of that messed up flash. But it doesn't matter. They get all the kills. What is going on? 3D Max unsecured, just leaving slide in the clutch.
And it has to be said as well, part of you internally, like, or part of me at the race internally kind of is thinking, like, if that flash had actually been, you know, correct in a way and thrown at the right time, because of the timing of where the T-set players were, they probably would have been able to dip away and reset and been there for the fight. But they throw the flash, then it means the push is late because they go for that second flash, so it's delayed. And the delay is what caught Nemiga off there. So, wow, but this round's not over, though. It's a 1v3 for Zwei, and he finds the first. The only issue is he just doesn't have the bomb.
Yeah, he's playing directly into their hands right now. They have a molly. They have a flash. Molly can go in. That puts them forwards, actually. They were a bit split there by the smoke that he threw, but doesn't matter in the end. They will indeed get it done. Do the damage. There are a few silver linings there, potentially, but not an awful lot. And it is, of course, 3D Max just growing that lead. That's the key thing here.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. Good response coming through. Force buy will do one back, and successful one at that, of course. And Nemiga will go for exactly the same. They force buy right back into this. It's not exactly the best, but again, still working with the right hand. That is a great flash from Risky Bob. Decent damage being dealt with Lear and Xanta, but the opening kill is Nemiga's.
Yep, that's true. That is true. Got to be able to do something with it now to stay in the game. This lurking presence, of course. Another kill coming in. Still a little loose.
Oh,
There's
no.
more to get through. They're just losing all their fights, man. Blanket taken down costs a lot of HP. There's no way you can stick around here. It's got to be the save. Nemiga trying to snatch these rounds. They don't really do it in the previous. They definitely find it here.
Yeah. That is really uncomfortable to watch. I mean, like you said, it wasn't exactly like the hold or anything was bad. It was quite literally just the fact that every single angel goes south. I mean, really nice work from Nemiga, you know, quick response. One of those things where it's back and forth, which in a way is kind of what Nemiga want at the moment. Just see what you can kind of get out of this. I really do want to see on the other side if we can potentially start to find a bit of consistency coming out from Nemiga. And this feels like a decent chance, but I mean, the expectation really is that 3D Max will just force buy again, right? An AK and M4 is a workable buy to go with here. So if they want to pick up the MP9s, this is not the worst time in the world to do so.
Yeah, that is true. It would be a little stereotypically French. So
I got it.
yeah, I like it. I do like it. Yeah, it's a bit of a risky move, but yeah, I think they kind of have to go for something just to keep that presence up. And the way that this half has developed as well, it's super, super back and forth right now.
All right, early nade. Bit of damage onto Zanta, but that's basically about it. Gravity. He's going to be contact. XC's playing anti. Waiting for the chance to come through. XC's dipping between the two. I mean, Molotov does tickle the toes just a little bit, so that's information gained.
What are they going to do with it, though, is the big question here. Edging towards this B-bomb site. There's mid-aggression that comes in. That nets a frag, and also nobody else there, right? So they can feel relatively confident that it is going to be a B hit. Jocko just has to slow them down. He's done that. Molotov and a smoke, in fact. They're still going. Smoke is pretty deep from them. It's going to be 2 MP9s through the smoke. A wild move. Jocko, though, he capitalizes, and he will indeed steal away the final few frags. That was a wild move, I have to say, from 3D Max, but thankfully Jocko was there to make it work.
Yeah, all right. Now we are starting to develop again. Just a little bit. At least on this CT side, we're into double digits. You're 3 rounds ahead of Nemiga and 3 rounds away from seeing off this series and moving forward in towards the next game. And, you know, at quite a rapid pace, it's going to be a pretty hefty delay between what feels like the end of this game and the start of the next. Of course, at this rate, 3D Max are kind of been speedrunning a little bit. Khan wants to get proactive in. Molotov will come down and again, not going to go through it.
Smoke down. AK retrieved, but Nemiga, it's getting scary. It's starting to become a steeper and steeper climb for them. Got to find a way to win this round. And that ultimately is the most difficult challenge of a game like this, it feels like, where you've never really been in. There was a small stretch where they had a 1 or 2 round lead. Bomb gonna hit the deck. Another into the grave. Not looking good at all. Spy falls next. The nade will take him out, but what is it really from Nemiga? Nothing coming in that there round number 18. 3D Max now within a couple of taking this first series.
Yeah. All right. Deservedly as well. This is a side who have seriously looked good for the most part. Unfortunately, this is a tech pause rather than an attack one. So we'll see maybe what things to look like for Nemiga off the back of it. I mean, it's going to be an eco. So yeah, really kind of uncomfortable situation they're in. My assumption for Nemiga here would be eco this 4x next and just play for overtime, but it is a real pick your poison type scenario. It's either force buy and hope that we get a little fortunate and then can kickstart some momentum. Maybe taking a round like that is the perfect way to kind of go about it. But yeah, I don't know. For Nemiga, this feels already like they're on the back foot quite kind of a massive margin where it doesn't really feel like I can't really see basically any roads to where they see this back in space unless 3D Max completely fall apart.
Yeah, we'll see, man. This as well, just to sort of ice things out. Obviously, something going a bit sideways somewhere on the server, but really not good. I think Nemiga want to try and act upon some of the moments where they've kept it close and just keep the emotions running high. They might be able to find themselves a quick rush play or something along these lines while it is so tense. But pause like this, your heart rate comes down. You are able to just relax a little bit and get back into slightly safer headspace. Maybe some players do actually perform well when the adrenaline is pumping. But either way, 3D Max will be pretty happy with how things are panning out and the fact that, yeah, they've got some time to just relax and set themselves up, have a little analyze of the scoreboard, like where's the buy going to be, what's the best move, maybe refamiliarize themselves with how Nemiga like to play these types of rounds. So, challenging now.
Pretty true. Pretty true. All right, tech pause done. We are back underway, and it looks like Nemiga are going to opt for the play. Oh, I said that, the play for overtime, but late with a second left. Santa, he sells it. I was going to say, he invests towards the clear and then opts against it. I do feel like that would be a bit of a brazen one. It's, you know, a lot of teams do like this kind of one rifle play and hope something can work with it, but it really isn't. In this situation, it feels like the best call. It would have been in a lot of trouble next round. I mean, even next round, they're probably still going to require maybe a Galil at that. So, we'll see. But Nemiga, the expectation is they probably give up this one. So they are playing for overtime. 12-7 down.
I don't know how I feel about that. You're a bit screwed, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
But I'm always a strong foot forward in these difficult buy rounds. Or difficult econ rounds, I guess I should say. But potentially they have something cooked up and ready to go to indeed bring things close. It's just, it's super dangerous because it makes your job very, very hard. Because a round like this is an opportunity for 3D Max to make a lot of money. And indeed, they will do that. Exorcisa Maka holding things quite easily there on it.
Yeah, doing it flawlessly as well. Really good for the mental. Just don't give it anything over towards Nemiga. It does feel like we're on the last legs here. 12-7. This difference is massive between these two. And unfortunately, when Nemiga were relatively competitive in towards that first half, they unfortunately have not been in the second. Dwindling and drifting out of contention moment upon moment. And again, a lot of credit has to be given to what has been a pretty spectacular showing from 3D Max throughout this series. Looks like it could be all over in just a moment.
T getting another. Jocko waiting patiently. Nicks his away. Very, very good here. Lear does get a trade. Costs him everything. Look, he does have to be careful. Finds that low HP player, loses control of the banana area. Meanwhile, Risky Bob has slipped through. Massive. Catches Gravity fully knife in hand. Bomb has to be retrieved. Where are they going? Is it A? Is it B? Maka is excited for a fight here. Ooh. And he will be given it. Risky Bob keeps it coming. Lots and lots and lots of damage done. Do they want to reapproach? Do they want to go towards A? He's trying to make it look like an A play. Maka's not quite biting just yet. Yeah, he's not fully sold. He's not fully sold. The reposition makes a little step. I think that will be heard. He's trying to bait someone in from somewhere. Risky Bob in and around this smoke, getting a bit, well, weird, to be honest. And Maka just not having any of it will take him without taking a single point of damage. All onto Khan to save the game in the series before lower bracket woes here for Nemiga in the opening stage of this qualifier. Khan making all the noise. 20 seconds left. He's got the bomb, but he really needs to deal with this Maka guy. Where the hell is the rotation as well is, I think, a question that everybody is asking right now. Ecstasy's taking his sweet time, but it's worked. Khan put under pressure, has to force the bomb plant, gets off it and loses his head to Exorcisa's quick move. 13-7 on map 2 after a 13-2 map 1 leaves 3D Max looking very, very scary here. Nemiga were a team that we said should be able to contest, should be able to at least find a map you feel and make an interesting series here.